Yeah, it was my choice. I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I just kind of told my team, like, I'm gonna just say the truth.
Good for you.
He's strong, he has good left hook, and one time he opened up, I cracked him and he didn't open up at all.
It didn't look like he was training. Ryan didn't train for that fight.
You don't think so? Why?
I don't think so. Ryan didn't train. He didn't train for that fight.
After losing to Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia made a shocking revelation. His team forced him into the ring, even though he wasn't mentally prepared to fight. He acknowledged, "I found myself really off after the year layoff, but I attempted to push through it." He also made hints about his intention to retire early. Garcia talked candidly about his difficulties during his break from boxing, stating that the year was difficult and taxing. He implied that the choice to fight wasn't entirely his own, even though he was now able to think clearly. He continued, "I'm terribly disappointed," implying that he entered the ring when he knew in his heart that he shouldn't have.
Just found myself very off after the year layoff. That whole year, it was a lot for me mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here is, and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say.
His tearful confession revealed a fighter fighting against more than simply his opponent. The boxing community was shocked, and Lou DiBella expresses incredulity. "I didn't see rolling out boxing Ryan coming." Many in the boxing community thought Garcia was foolish being thrust into a high-stakes fight against Romero after spending an entire year away from the ring. Congratulations to Devin, Rolly, and Teo for an unforgettable night of boxing, Bill Haney said on X, expressing his perplexity. In the meantime, other news. Oscar, I continue to be perplexed as to why Ryan hasn't dismissed La Hoya for putting in the ring against Rolly without using any performance-enhancing drugs. Garcia acknowledged in his own words that he wasn't prepared, but everyone around him were more focused on business than on his well-being. Oscar de La Hoya's judgment is now questioned by some who contend Ryan was set up to fail. Fans are wondering if Garcia will eventually leave a squad that seems to have deceived him in light of the circumstances. Oscar de La Hoya maintains that the loss wasn't catastrophic in spite of Ryan Garcia's emotional collapse and obvious indications that he wasn't ready. "This battle wasn't catastrophic at all," Oscar said, dismissing criticism with little accountability, adding, "Ryan knows what he has to do." Fans and boxing insiders were incensed by his remarks, believing Garcia was set up for failure after being forced into a risky fight after a year-long layoff. Many anticipated that De La Hoya would take responsibility, but his foolishness in downplaying the result only served to increase criticism of Garcia's poor management.
How devastating?
He'll live to see another day. That's it.
How devastating of a loss is this for Ryan, man?
Not devastating at all. At all.
Why?
Win 12 rounds. He knows he's way better than that. He knows what he has to do. He knows what he has to do. So,
do you think the Devin Haney fight probably off the table? Do you think that, or
it'll be back.
How do you?
It has to happen.
How do you think Devin looked out there, man?
Gun shy. Literally, he was running. I mean, he was scared to me.
Yeah.
Scared of getting hit.
In a shocking revelation about Ryan Garcia's comeback to the ring, Bob Arum blasted the fighter's management and promotion for permitting him to take on Rolly Romero after a one-year break. Garcia's poor performance, according to Arum, was mostly caused by inadequate planning. He maintained that before facing a fighter as tough as Romero, Garcia ought to have had a tune-up fight following a protracted layoff. Arum claims that the temptation of high-profile bouts diverts a lot of promoters and fighters, causing them to make more monetarily driven choices than wise, strategic ones. Arum clarified, stressing the value of gaining momentum gradually. A sensible decision would have been to take a tune-up bout and then advance to a Romero or a Haney. Arum's comments serve as a reminder of how important it is for boxers to remain prepared and for promoters to consider the readiness and well-being of their fighters. He also attacked the sport for pushing athletes into big fights too quickly, which could jeopardize their careers. This analysis clarifies the more general problems with boxing matchmaking, as monetary incentives can take precedence over calculated planning, leading to mismatches and unforeseen consequences. Arum also emphasized how even elite fighters, such as Devin Haney, suffered during protracted absences. pointing out that Haney appeared unprepared for his bout with Jose Ramirez following a year off. In Garcia's instance, he also blasted the matchmaking, claiming that it was a bad idea to put him in such a difficult battle right away. Arum said, "Bad matching is a significant part of this game," emphasizing how crucial smart matchmakers are in boxing. His remarks, which call for caution before making such important judgments, demonstrated a deeper concern for the stewardship of young potential.
This is a lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money, and they don't make really good decisions. A good decision would have been to take a tune-up fight, and then, you know, then you move to a Romero or even a Haney or so forth. You don't go right in after a year. You know, look at Haney. Haney looked terrible with Romero because he hadn't fought in a year.
Did he seem to be gun shy? Did he seem to be worried about taking another big shot?
Who's that?
David Haney, with the way that he was moving around the ring.
Absolutely, you see that? I mean, you know, I don't know how he scored because it's hard to tell, but you know, who's going to want to see Haney fight if he fights that way?
Do you want to see the rematch? After what? Yeah.
What do you think about Teofimo Lopez? His performance?
He did okay. I mean, he did okay. But he knew he was in with Barboza, who can't break an egg. You know, Barboza's fought so many fights for us. I don't think he's had one knockout. You know, so Teofimo could show his whole arsenal.
Ryan Garcia's candidness regarding his battles with mental health has illuminated a very personal path. He disclosed in an open interview that he has battled anxiety and panic attacks since he was 17. He explained how, at one time, he developed a major hypochondriac obsession with the notion that he was gravely ill. His anxieties increased and his concentration decreased. Garcia eventually came to the realization that he needed assistance. He reflected on the overpowering impact and said, "I just continued going through that, more panic attacks, and I couldn't breathe half the time." Garcia bravely decided to be open about his mental health rather than conceal his difficulties. Instead of making up an explanation like a shoulder problem, he decided to be honest. He stated, "It was my choice," adding that he had not previously discussed this issue with his team. He defended his choice in the face of criticism, saying that the first step to recovery was being honest, speak with the appropriate individuals. He stressed the value of self-awareness and asking for help, saying, "Talk to yourself and realize you're not alone." His courage in being vulnerable has sparked a conversation about mental health in boxing, a sport where these kinds of conversations are frequently taboo. Others may be encouraged to ask for assistance and be more honest about their own difficulties by Ryan's candor.
It was a time, obviously, in learning more about.
You go to therapy?
Yeah, I was going to therapy, and I took all the steps that I just wanted to get better, so I took every step that you could.
And who advised you to be so open about it? Because I'm sure your team was like, let's just say it's a shoulder injury, let's not talk about mental health. Because again, you're the first one to do it.
Yeah.
Was it your choice?
Yeah, it was my choice. I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I just kind of told my team, like, I'm gonna just say the truth, and that's it. And we'll see.
And you still got backlash after that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Of course, because there's people that have like this idea
on social media.
Well, because they really want me to, like, you know, I'm just easy to pick on, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, this kid.
Like he has everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean mental health? It's like, no, you don't understand. Like,
Yeah, no.
So crazy.
But
You're
stuff
like
doesn't
human
equal
being
happiness.
first,
But the
you know?
thing is, I've struggled with it since I was 17. It was something new. It just got to like a place where, and I don't even know how it truly happened, but because I had just won the biggest fight of my life.
Which fight was that?
It was Luke Campbell, right after I knocked him out.
Huge fight.
And I was on top of the world. Like, I mean, my social media numbers were even crazier than it is now. And
Was
it's
there a
crazy
big growth from that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. But
Was it the pressure? Is that what got to you?
no, I got to, like, I just got so lost. Like, I don't know. I can't really explain it. I just kind of like being in a maze and you don't know where to go. Like, I just couldn't keep my focus on anything. And then I just kept on thinking I was sick. I came to, like, I became like a true hypochondriac to the point where I was like, yo, I got a problem for sure. Like, and then I just kept going through that, and then more panic attacks, and I couldn't breathe half the time.
So how'd you get out of it?
Talk to the right people.
Talk to the right people.
First of all, talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And say this is an issue.
Exactly, being honest with yourself, the truth, and then conversations with people and understanding that other people have went through a similar situation. It kind of eases off that thing. I'm alone in a way. Like, okay.
Following Ryan Garcia's defeat by Rolly Romero, both Derek Jeter and Mike Tyson voiced their dissatisfaction with his performance. Ryan didn't train for that fight. Derek said bluntly during a live discussion. He noted that, particularly after a demanding year off, Garcia's preparation seemed inadequate. Despite being more taciturn, Tyson expressed concern about Garcia's preparedness and concurred with Derek's judgment. Derek stressed that Rolly Romero should be given credit for his performance, even though Garcia may not have given the training camp his all. Their frank comments are indicative of the increasing agreement that Garcia's setback was largely caused by improper training. The fight demonstrated how crucial preparation is in fights with such high stakes.
50-50. What about taking a rough rematch? World-class professional boxing. We'll see you all there. Thank you for coming.
A dance partner that makes sense. Rolly don't make sense.
No?
Not really. I mean, what is he known for? Getting beat, and then not looking so good. Like, he's been on a kind of a downward spiral. He doesn't even look very confident about this fight. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm always on Rolly's team, but it just doesn't look so good right now. But I'm going to tune in. Hopefully, he can pull up an upset and actually give a good fight. I just haven't seen him in one in a long time.
Devin trembled. Devin shook his head, indicating that he was displeased. He was a little let down. He was going to fight. He saw the sack descend. That concludes the video for today. Watch this space until the next one.